an exciting weekend. Appreciate our fans for coming out. Thought it was a great atmosphere for a spring game. Had a nice crowd for our man trip. I know our players appreciated that. The fans were here early and they stayed the entire game, which you don't see in spring very often. So I appreciate that. Obviously for a great cause. Enjoyed being around and having our friends from the WVU Children's Medicine here to start the game off. I thought that was a neat aspect. Obviously I hadn't been a part of that before, and to see those children at the start of Hoss's Walk, which was a great event, and then to have them at the beginning of the spring, or at the spring game, was really neat. Had a large group of alumni that were here, starting all day yesterday, and then we had an event last night, and then carrying through pregame today. So in the uniform reveal, just a great weekend, a great kickstart to this new era. I think this is the start. We can continue to build something here, make it more of an event for the spring game. As far as football aspect, I think it was a typical spring game. I think there were some really good aspects on the field and some things that are obviously we need to get corrected before we line up and play James Madison at the end of August. We're a work in progress. I think that we talked about 3 goals when we stood up here at the press conference before we started. Number 1 is we wanted to fundamentally get better, and we wanted to make sure that we were able to teach the techniques in offense, defense, special teams. I think we're improved. I don't think we've arrived fundamentally yet, but I think we're definitely improved. The good thing is we got summer and in the fall camp to continue to grow in that area. Second thing is we wanted to teach our base schematics in offense, defense, special teams. I think that has been accomplished. I think our guys that were here do have a base understanding of what we want to do in all 3 phases. And then the last thing is we wanted to ID personnel. And I think we have a really good idea of the guys on our team right now that we can go out and play. We have some really good competition at certain spots. At some spots, quite frankly, we don't have enough competition in either freshmen or guys we got to continue to define and build on this roster as we go through late spring into the summer. Some guys I thought that stuck out, I'll start with the defensive guys. Stone Wolfley, he had 2 sacks, 2 tackles for a loss, thought he was active. Exree Lowe, I thought he really showed out today. He's a guy that plays with great energy all the time, but he was really productive. And then Jordan Adams had a nice pick, and then had a very immature penalty after that. So I was glad they flagged it. And then I thought Derek Pitts, I think he's grown, one of our most improved players this spring. He and Shea Campbell, Darius Cowan also did some things. Thought Shea Campbell had his best day that he's had this spring. And then Keith Washington had a nice play. And if I didn't blow the whistle, he may have returned that interception for a touchdown. Offensively, I think if you look at it, Letty Brown, who we wanted to get a bunch of touches in the second half, we were able to accomplish that. I'm not sure these stats rights don't necessarily go and print those, but I thought Letty had a really nice day and showed really what he's shown all spring. He's been really consistent, and you hear me when I use that word consistent. I think that's one of the best really ways I can describe somebody on our football team. He has been consistent. Sam James was productive. He's a guy that needs to be a playmaker for us. Obviously young at that position. We lost a ton of production at that position. I'm excited about him. He's talented. To see him with people in the stands make plays was definitely encouraging. And then TJ had the big one. He's probably been our most consistent receiver all spring. We were careful with him. He didn't play as many snaps as some other people. And then Dylan Spalding made a great grab there to finish the scrimmage. I thought Tevin Bush and Randy Fields on the blue team. Bush is a guy that we've got to be creative and find ways to get him the ball. And then Randy Fields. And then Sills and McKivitz have been the bright spots on offense all spring. Really guys, again, consistency is the first word that pops in my head. But I think they've kind of been the leaders on offense and done a nice job. So with that, I'll open it for questions.
What do you think of the quarterbacks today?
Yeah, it's tough to watch them. Okay, obviously today I had a little better view than I normally would because I was standing in the back. Starting with Jack, I thought he was a little tight early, missed a post ball. Thought his decision making at times was better than it had been through the spring. Throws a really nice ball. We've got to get him not to float around in the pocket. He's got to move up in the pocket and help his offensive lineman. I thought he made some connections downfield. maybe one that got called out may have been in. We didn't use replay today. I think Trey Lowe had some nice runs. You know, I think if we were actually tackling the quarterback, he may have even had a couple that he would have broken off. And then I thought Kendall did some really good things throwing the ball down the field. Again, he's got to get the ball out of his hand faster. I think that's the biggest thing for him. It's been a long time since he's played, you know, and I think that he got in a rhythm after about the third series, and I thought he did some good things.
A lot of downfield passing. Was that by design, or was that the quarterback's decision?
No, we wanted to. Yeah, we wanted to. And if you go back and look, really over the last 2 years in Troy, you know, our plays of plus 20 have been up there, and I think that you got to threaten defensive vertically now. You know, guys in the secondary that are really well coached do a great job of reading routes and those type of things. Our guys are no different. I think we're talented. We got some talent in the secondary, and I know we're well coached in the secondary. So we wanted to threaten the guys downfield and really get some one-on-one opportunities.
Jake Abbott won the Nicholas Award. Your thoughts on Jake and his presence?
Yeah, and what I'll say on that is first of all, very rewarding, and that you know, you talk about Jake, you talk about a guy that's all in. He's all in on being a Mountaineer. He's a guy that has great effort, great attitude every single day. We do a game changer of the day, special teams. He's won that multiple times this spring. And here's the deal, I'll tell you right now, he's going to be a factor on defense. You know, he will be a factor for us in the fall on defense. And great winter, carried it into a great spring. I think he's got a chance to be a really plus player for us on special teams. I think he's continuing to grow, and his role is going to increase on defense. And I think as he goes through his career, he'll be a leader for us here as well.
You said since the start of spring, when you'll know in regards to quarterback.
I don't know yet. No, here's the thing. I'm going to go back and watch this. Well, we have a pecking order after this we made. All right, I'm not going to commit myself to anything right now. I think we've made strides at quarterback. I don't think we're ready to go play a game and just yet. I think some of that's probably because we've divided reps. Some of it's because none of them have played a whole lot of meaningful snaps. I do think we've made solid progress this spring. Am I ready to crown a winner? Probably not just yet.
Will your offense be dictated by who plays quarterback, or will your quarterback be dictated by the offense?
No, we'll always call our offensive play calls and the system we're going to run will always be dictated first and foremost what the quarterback can do. Second is what we can protect and what we're best at the offensive line. The rest of them will move the pieces around as needed, but as far as what we do game in and game out, dictated by quarterback and the offensive line.
How refined is Austin's ability to sell the play fake, and how can that help him?
Yeah, I think he's done a nice job of that. I do. I think he does a really good job on the play fakes of shifting his body weight. I think his ball handling is improved. What we've got to eliminate with Austin is just the negative play. You know, you saw the one where he took a sack, he spun out of it. You just can't have big negative plays. And I don't think he threw a pick today, which is something that he did do early in the spring. So I think we're growing in that regard. But he's got to just feel the pocket. And honestly, he just needs reps. It just takes reps. That's something that you just got to go out and play a bunch of team reps. You understand moving up and moving out of the pocket.
Thoughts on James and his play in the vertical game?
Yeah, I said this. I think he's a guy that I'm excited about. He runs well. He's coachable. Plays with a lot of energy. Very, very humble, but hungry as well. I think his future here is really bright.
What about the catch he made where he made the adjustment?
I couldn't see it. I couldn't see it. Yeah, I really couldn't. I thought Austin did a really nice job throwing the ball. We always talk about there's two places the receiver can't make the play on a go ball. If you overthrow it, can't make a play. If you throw it out of bounds, can't make a play. So if you get it anywhere else, then you're doing the right thing. And I thought he threw the ball on a line, but I couldn't see Sam. I couldn't see the catch.
Give me your impressions of Mike Brown. He's a guy that's relatively new to football, but it seems like it's starting to click for him.
He is. We're going to give some awards tomorrow, and he'll get one of those awards at our team meeting, team dinner tomorrow night. Really improved. He really improved. You're talking about a guy that didn't play football in high school. Didn't play one single snap of football in high school, and played in junior college. Then came. you know, really proud of him. I am really proud of him, learning the game, learning what's expected of him. Still got to drop some weight. You know, I think as he drops weight, he's going to be more effective, but he's really strong, he's explosive. But yeah, he's really proud of what he's done and how he's improved as we've gone through the spring.
The one-on-ones downfield that you were talking about, are you okay with saying, I've got these receivers that I'm okay with throwing the ball up to, and hey, let's win those battles?
Yeah, I think that's part of a quarterback. As you go and you get experience, you figure out who are those guys that are capable of making those one-on-one plays. In college football, the way it's played right now is you've got to win your 50-50. You've got to win your share of those 50-50 balls. And I thought at times today we did a good job of that. Quite frankly, we haven't done as good a job as we need to as we go through the spring, as we've gone through the spring. But definitely, I think as the quarterbacks learn their personnel and they get more reps with those guys, that's why summer's critical for their continued development. But they got to understand who they can trust and who can make those plays on those 50-50 balls.
You have a couple scholarships available. Immediate help needs, do you need a couple guys who can play right away? And if so, the ID positions?
We do. I think we're always going to be creative here as far as how we build our roster. You know, and we've got, I think if you look at our running back room, we got competition day in and day out. I think we need that in a lot of rooms. There's some rooms we don't, and we need to continue to grow. As far as what we need, probably not going to talk about right here, but I think that we're definitely going to be active late this spring and into the summer as far as adding some pieces.
Also, coming off of the defensive line from last year, but you do have some guys back that got some experience. Just how do you feel about that group?
I think it's a bright spot. One of the bright spots of the spring. I don't think we have enough bodies there just yet, but I think like this system, I think you're going to see Darius Stills be a productive player. I think what we're doing, what Coach Vic and Jordan Leslie are doing with our defensive front, I think he's a guy that can be productive in our system. Dante is starting to learn to play. He kind of turned his ankle a little bit, so we held him in the second half. But he's got a ton of ability. And at times this spring, he's really been difficult to block. Reese Donahue's been real solid. We need a guy to keep coming around Darius. You know, Brent Britt has shown some signs. But Taj Austin and Pooler both have done some good things. Pooler has, I think, made as much stride, you know, outside of Mike Brown as anybody this spring as far as just steady improvement.
Coming in, the running backs look like they were going to be a real strength on the team. There was nothing dynamic there today. That's just
early
spring.
Unfortunately, it's how you block. We didn't block the red. We just didn't block very well in the run game. The one series where we did, where Letty Brown got going, the opening drive of the second half, I thought he did a really good job of being patient and bouncing those runs outside. But we weren't as good in the run game, which is disappointing because Tuesday in practice, we did a lot of team activities and we blocked the run game and fit the run game as well as we have all spring. Thursday we were pretty good. Today, from what I can see, I didn't think we did a very good job of
When you're going against yourself, is it good defense or is it bad blocking, or how do you?
It's sometimes you got to really be clear, you know, because it's really tough. I always say you really don't know what you have till you play your first game, and I believe that. That's been the case almost everywhere I've been.
One more question? Okay, thank you very much, Coach.